Well, I've reached week 4 of my ketogenic diet journey, and it's time for my weekly update. It's been great to be on the ketogenic diet, and today I'd like to give you some updates on how my week progressed. In addition to data points I've provided in previous episodes, today I've got an extra set of data I'd like to share. It's on ketones and blood ketone index. I think you'll enjoy it. Hi, I'm Steve, and you're watching Keto Stevo. So we have a lot to cover today. It was a really good week, mostly positive. There was one little hiccup that I'll go into in just a moment, but let's get started with this week's update. So no change from last week as far as my perception of my feelings across the different categories. The only change was to my hunger and cravings, and that might be due to the fact that I did do a 36-hour fast this week. So there was a little bit towards the end of that 36 hours that, I just started feeling a little bit on the hungry side. But for the most part, the week was pretty normal. I didn't have any cravings except for on the 36-hour fast. So no changes there except for the one category. Everything else I'm pretty happy with. Sleep is still an issue, but that's just, I've always had trouble sleeping, so I don't think that's anything to do with the keto diet. I don't think it's related to diabetes. I think it's just my nature. It's just I've always had a tough time going to sleep. So looking at the numbers for week 4, weight loss continued to be good. My insulin and carbs kept decreasing, which is also good. The only thing that was an issue this week was my blood glucose rose, and that happened after I ended my 36-hour fast. So I want to take a little bit closer look at that and try to understand maybe the reasons why. Again, 36-hour fast, and after that was over, my blood sugar just started creeping up just a little bit. So let's look at what stayed the same for week 4. My carb intake remained relatively the same except for my 36-hour fast, of course. Exercise didn't change. I'm about 40 to 50 minutes per day. My sleep averages about 4 to 6 hours per night. And my insulin stayed right around 10 units per day. So those are the key items that affect my blood sugar. So what happened? My blood sugar went up. Looking at the numbers and knowing my body and trying to understand it, I came up with a couple of theories. I'm thinking maybe my body's still adjusting to the keto diet, and there's things that it hasn't been used to, and maybe that impacted my blood sugar. The other theory is that my fasting caused a higher ketone production in my body. I wasn't intaking food, so my body has to resort to burning body fat for its energy, and when it does that, maybe that raises my blood sugar. So those are a couple of theories. I think maybe there's a combination of the two. And also I know sleep impacts your blood sugar. If you don't get good sleep, that can raise your blood sugar. So I think my thought is it's a combination of theory 1 and theory 2. Theory 3 is, hey, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. You've seen my numbers and so what are your thoughts on why did my blood sugar go up when everything else was looking good? So the new data points I wanted to cover today that I talked to in the opening are the ketones and my blood ketone index. So I just started taking my blood ketones about 2 weeks ago, and that's why I haven't been documenting those and letting you know about it. So after 2 weeks, these are my numbers. The top yellow line is my ketone number, which I measure with the Keto Mojo. I do that once a day in the morning. And the bottom line, the blue line, is called the blood ketone index. So ketones tell you if you're in ketosis. The two yellow dotted lines show the relative areas that you're in ketosis. If you're above 0.5 on your ketones, and you can go up above 6, but up to about 5 is the good area you want to be in. Anything above 0.5, you're in ketosis. The blue line is blood ketone index, and that's a measure of your blood sugar divided by your ketones. And the range for your BKI, the good range, is anywhere between 0.7 and 2 to 2.1. This number is a more accurate representation of your overall health than just the ketone number, and mine is, both numbers are staying in their proper zones. That's a good thing just to start out. This is my first 2 weeks, so for just beginning, I'm real happy with those results. So my daily numbers for this week were really good. The numbers across the top show my average blood sugar was 109 with a deviation of 20. I had no hypos and 1 hyper, and it's just green all across the board. Showing where I started my fast on Sunday morning, and it was 36 hours to Monday evening. And after I ended my fast, which the fast was great, I had no issues with the fast. I didn't feel weak. I felt great the whole time. No, not too many cravings, maybe just a little bit, not too bad. But just an awesome 36 hours. I couldn't believe it. And so at the end of it, the recommendation is when you end a fast to not just gorge, which I wouldn't anyway, but just ease your way back up. So at the end, I just had a couple of carbs. I don't remember what I had, but just a couple of carbs, and then nothing until the following evening. So Tuesday evening, a total of 6 carbs for the day, and that's my 1 meal a day in the evening. Between 6:30 and 8:30, I'll have my 1 meal a day. So overall, lots of green. Even during the 36-hour fast, my blood sugar stayed green, and that's just a really, really good sign. So I'm really happy with my first long-term fast, and very happy with the 1 meal a day that I'm doing. Basically a 1-day fast every day. That's been working out really well. No issues with that at all. And that's the rest of the week, Wednesday through Saturday. A couple of spots, a little high there, and a little bit high here, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing. This is just a really, really good week this week. So my accomplishments for this week include a 36-hour fast. I did start 1 meal a day, or OMAD as it's sometimes called. I maintained my carb intake at 10 grams or less. Sometimes it might go up to 12. Sometimes it's down to 6 or 7, but I'm right around the 10 mark. I found a couple more keto meals that I really like and cooked those up and enjoy them. My exercise is up a little bit to 50 minutes per day on average. And my weight continues to decrease. That's really good news. I started out at 182 4 weeks ago, and I'm down to 171 now. And my stomach size was 40 inches around the waist, around the biggest part of my stomach 4 weeks ago, and now it's at 38. So an 11-pound drop in weight and 2 inches off my stomach in 4 weeks. So really happy with that. And my goals for next week are to maintain my carbs at 10, increase my exercise a little bit more like I do every week. I'm going to try to get up to 60 minutes per day. Keep looking for keto recipes so I keep that variety going with my meals. Continue to eat 1 meal a day, the OMAD program. That's working out fine for me. Skip breakfast, skip lunch, and have my dinner. It's good. And then I'm going to do some research on sleep aids. I'd like to look up some natural stuff. I don't want to take over-the-counter medications. I don't want to get a prescription for sleeping. I just want to figure out how to go to sleep. So I'll do some more research on that. I've got some ideas I'm working on. And then lower my blood glucose level back to where it was in the pre-fasting range, closer to an average of 100 to 110 per day. So that's this week's update. Mostly good, one little hiccup, but that's fine. And if you're enjoying my ketogenic diet journey, please click that subscribe button and join me every week for my latest updates, recipes, and health tips. Thanks so much for joining me again. Take care.